Welcome into the latest edition of Extra Time. Thank you for your tweets. Stevie with us. Don and Frank, you're looking very studious today.
Well, I don't know. I'm attentive to what Stevie says, and I would have put Messi in the top 10, of course.
Yeah, this is Stevie saying that Messi's goal didn't deserve to be in the top 10, despite the fact it was a spectacular bicycle kick.
It was not spectacular. It wasn't even smooth. It was an ugly. It was that ugly overhead.
A goal's a goal, though, isn't it?
It's a goal's a goal, yes.
But you wouldn't give it that much.
Well, it's not smooth, is it? It's not silky about it.
Don?
It's a mishit.
Where do you stand on Messi's bicycle kick?
It's a good one, but the volleys that I think were 2 and 3 were technically ridiculously hard. They're better than Sarr's goal from the halfway line.
All right, OK then. Would you have Messi in the top 10 though, Don?
I think so.
We only showed 10.
Yes, but
Of course it's in the top 10 if we only showed 10.
You just said you wouldn't have them in. You wouldn't have him in the top 10.
Yeah, but we just showed 10 goals.
Yes, but you can still use some sort of gumption and initiative.
Let me tell you something. If you'd asked me to pick a top 10, I would have found another goal.
All right. OK.
Yeah.
There you go.
Don't ask me.
Fabian
Fulham's opener, maybe.
Newcastle.
Oh, don't bring Newcastle into it, Don. For Don, what's the percentage chance that Frank Lampard and Steven Gerrard both get fired this season?
0. Zilch.
Oh.
Why?
Zilch.
0.
Why?
Yeah, zilch.
Frank said Lampard's not going to make the end of the season.
Both of them getting fired this season.
Gerrard started badly, that defeat against Bournemouth.
To be honest, Dan, you're right. That was a shocker. I mean, if you're a Villa fan going into that game thinking Bournemouth, Scotty Parker was a weird one. He turned around and said, we're not ready for the Premier League. We've got the worst squad. We've got a worse squad now than we did have 2 or 3 years ago. And you go there as a Villa fan, player, manager, you think this is 3 points. And you lose at 2-0, that sticks you on the back foot, puts you under a tiny bit of pressure. But I think the Connor Cody signing today that Everton got will certainly help alongside Tarkowski. I think they're getting there. They're making 1 or 2 other signings. I think Idrissa Gueye might be signing as well. So I think the chances of them both going is highly unlikely.
What do you make of the Tyrone Mings situation, Steve? You've been following this. Steven Gerrard's taken his captaincy off him, dropped him as well, and he said he'll only be back in the team once he looks me in the eye and shows me that he's ready. Is that something you wouldn't mind going public as a player? Is that a gamble?
Well, I guess Gerrard has to say something. You can't just... The guy who was the captain and who seemingly was your defensive rock, all of a sudden disappears and isn't playing.
Right.
You're going to have to come and say something.
He's got a niggle.
Well, you can't say that forever.
Well, you said
you can say that if he's going to be if you're not happy with him and the thinking. If the thinking is, you know what, I'm going to give him a kick up the backside. He's not going to play for a couple of weeks.
Yes.
Then you can say that. But it seems to be a major fallout, and he is not happy. And Steven Gerrard seems to be the type of guy who, if you're on the wrong side of him,
right,
it's going to be tough to get the other side back.
Don, how would you respond if a manager went public and said something like that about you?
Take it on the chin, Dan. Take it on the chin. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you've got to look in the mirror. You've got to be man enough to take criticism from your manager. You've got to respect them as well. I mean, what else does it do in our day? I mean, I'm pretty sure Frank and Stevie will agree. You're not just going to collapse and go, oh, that's it. I want to move. I want out. Phone my agent. I think what you would do probably is you'd probably knock on the door if you're Tyrone Mings and have a chat with Stevie and have that eye-to-eye and face-to-face conversation where you get a vibe if the manager still fancies you or once you're gone from the football club, and you'll get that.
What's the vibe, Don?
Well, no, when you have the conversation, if you sit there in front of Stevie G and you ask him, I think he's honest enough to say, I've had a manager like Walter Smith, who I told you before, when he signed John Collins and Olivier Dacour. And Walter Smith got me in the office and said, you can leave. And I went, why? And he went, because I've signed Olivier Dacour and John Collins. And I said, I'm better than them two. And he liked it. I shut the door, and months later, when I got myself back on the side and he ended up playing the 3, I spoke to his number 2, Archie Knox, and he went, best thing you ever said that. Walter liked what you said there, because you could have just packed your bags and gone.
Oh, well done, Don. Pat yourself on the back.
There you go.
Do you ever look at what the current players of today that are at a similar level to you were, making the salary-wise, and become slightly miffed? Steve, this is kind of apt for you, I feel. There's so much more money invested in the game today for not only salaries, but training and infrastructure.
I don't look at players who are good players.
Right.
look at the only time I think about the money side of it is when I see some players playing in the Premier League earning millions and they shouldn't be there.
Right.
That's the only time you get miffed. Other than that, no. I mean, no.
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 Frank and Don are rich, so it doesn't apply.
The best players deserve to get. The best players deserve to get what they can.
Don automatically goes, I ain't rich. Frank's like,
rich.
yeah.
I ain't rich. It's 11:30 and I'm on this show. I ain't rich.
Oh, well, there you go. That's what divorce does to you, Don. Right,
Exactly.
which result over the weekend impressed you guys the most, and which result concerned you guys a little, Don?
I think both in the same game, Dan. I think the Bournemouth-Villa game. I didn't have...
Do you think Steven Gerrard will get sacked?
No, but I mean, it's a
It's
shocker
where
for
you say
him.
yes, Don.
No, it's a shocker for him because what it does do, it puts you under pressure. And as I said before, the Villa fans travelling to Bournemouth thinking this is a definite 3 points. We can be optimistic. We can try and get a 7th or an 8th, and because they fell off a cliff last season. Don't forget their form at the end of the season was wretched. It was awful. So you have a pre-season, you stick all that behind you. You go to Bournemouth, and you go, right, we'll win. Then all of a sudden you don't. You lose 2-0 in the manner as well. That puts you under pressure. And for Scotty Parker's Bournemouth, I don't think anyone really give them a prayer apart from it being the first day of the season, and they'll probably still go down. But what are 3 points for them?
What about you, Frank? Which result impressed you, or which one gave you cause for concern?
The result which impressed me the most was the Fulham game against Liverpool, because we always talk about the so-called better team and try to criticize them because they weren't very good, and it was the case of Liverpool. But you have to mention the quality of what Fulham showed on the field against them. They were compact. They played well, and I was very impressed. The belief they had in their football, and they completely deserved to win that game. For me, well, they drew. Sorry, so it was a good point for Liverpool, but I think Fulham did very well. I'm very concerned about Manchester United. What I saw is it's really appalling. It seems to me, and it's crazy because you take all players individually, they're all good players, but it's like they play again for the first time, and with each other. They don't know each other. They don't know what to do when they have the ball. There is no thought whatsoever about what they have to do, and I don't see any light because I think they're really in the tunnel.
Frank, what's that gold thing over your right shoulder?
Oh, that's here? Here?
Yeah,
that's the World
what's
Cup.
that? Oh, why do you have that there?
Look here.
Hold on, he's got
a
two.
sec.
Look, oh.
You got
No,
two.
I've got
What's that?
3.
Oh, I thought...
I've got 3. Okay.
Get in there,
Okay.
Frank. Love it.
Look
Love
at
it,
that.
Frank.
So that's
so
obviously
that's
the
the
World
World
Cup, the
Cup.
Euros. What's the one in the middle?
That's the Confederation Cup we won against Japan. So it's to have 3 things that we won in 3 years: 98, 2000, 2001. Bye-bye.
Ah, there you are.
Voilà.
Where are your trophies, Don?
I can't compete with that, Dan. That's top notch. That's top draw.
Okay. Stevie,
Thank you, Dan.
we've still had a lot of people very angry at Stevie's comments on Friday, where he said basically that Arsenal look like the same old Arsenal, have not improved since last season, and he doesn't have them finishing in the top 4. Stevie says same old Arsenal, but neglected to mention that Arsenal lost 3-0 at Selhurst Park last season after starting out horribly and being down 2-0 inside 15 minutes. What aspect was the same exactly? Palash's first loss at home since February, it should be mentioned.
Well, it's that simple. It's very, very simple and very straightforward. And unless you've got Arsenal glasses on, you'll be able to see it.
Right.
Arsenal against Crystal Palace on Friday.
Yes.
Not the weekend. On Friday.
Yep.
For 15 minutes were sensational.
Okay.
Right? Does that ring a bell about last year at any stage? Where in games they were sensational.
But they got it done.
For 15
They got it
minutes.
done.
Hold on. You can argue they got it done.
Yes.
But they got it done because Crystal Palace couldn't take 2 easy chances.
Right.
So the fact that they got it done is not my point. My point is the characteristics of the performance in general is what we saw last year from the same team. A team who in a period in the game for 15 minutes were fantastic. We saw that on numerous occasions last year. They were fantastic, but never killed the game.
Okay.
And then it becomes a gamble. It becomes a toss of a coin. Because up until the own goal, 10 minutes to go, that game was in the balance. It's exactly what we saw last year. Now, your argument, well, they finished it off. Well, yes, they did finish it off.
Oh, well, so you can't just bury that argument under the carpet.
Had they not given any chances away,
right,
I would have been way more complimentary. But the fact is, they did give 2 fantastic chances away, and it was the ineptitude of Crystal Palace players who never took those chances. It's why they won the game in the end.
Don, are you buying what Stevie's selling?
What Stevie says there is factual. But what I think about Arsenal, I think what everyone thinks about Arsenal when you watch them is, have they got the minerals? And they proved at times last season where I think it might have been Wolves off the top of my head. But I think they went there with 10 men. I stand corrected if it wasn't Wolves. And they went there and got a 1-0 win. And you think, right, something's changing here. Then they bottled it against Tottenham. They went to St James's Park towards the end of the season and bottled that game as well. So it's the minerals. It's have they got it? And what Stevie said there about the game and how the game went, correct. 1-0 up. Edouard missed a sitter of a header to make it 1-1. But they showed a little bit of character towards the end to see the game through. So that's my question for Arsenal this season, because I think they'll do really well this season. But have they got the minerals to try and get there in the toughest of games? Chelsea, I think, next. No, it's not. Yes, it is. Chelsea, I think. No, it's not. That's Tottenham. Tottenham, Chelsea.
Stevie, with Manchester United struggling and Chelsea not looking convincing over the weekend, do you want to get out of the bet that you made with me for Arsenal not making the top 4?
No. Chelsea will get better.
Why?
Yes!
Well, they can't be any worse. Just straight off the bat. They were absolutely terrible.
Why can't Arsenal get
hold on
better?
a second.
Why can't
What
Arsenal
was you
get
said
better
to me
as
a couple
well?
of minutes ago? They got it done, though.
Right. Yeah, against Everton.
Oh, sorry.
Everyone's going to win at
So it
Everton
doesn't
this
count.
season.
3 points. Did they get 3 points? They were absolutely atrocious, and they've got 3 points,
Right.
and they're only going to get better.
So were they atrocious for the whole game, Chelsea?
Oh, pretty much.
So there was no 15 minutes of brilliance that there was for Arsenal?
No.
So surely Arsenal were ahead of the game because they put in that 15 minutes of brilliance compared to Chelsea, 0.
See, it's, sometimes when you have your clever dick ways, sometimes you make sense.
Right.
On this occasion, you're talking absolute garbage. Doesn't make any sense. What are you talking about?
We'll see at the end of the season. We will see at the end of the season what's going to happen.
Listen, I've spent me $50 already.
Have you? What did you? Well, you had a Snickers and a Twix before we came on air.
I'm going to get potatoes and mince. Some cheese, mate, a shepherd's pie.
Oh, lovely. That'd be nice.
A big one.
Have you had one of those before?
1 or 2.
Yep. Frank, as a player, wouldn't you be hesitant to join Barcelona after seeing how they're treating De Jong? Wouldn't you worry about how you would be treated in the future by the club if they no longer wanted you?
Yes and no, because when he signed for Barcelona, he knew, in fact, what was going on at the club. They were struggling, financially, and that would be a possibility if he was a good price that they will use him to fill up the bank account. So I understand that, and we all know that as players we are only products. You have to understand that they want you. When they don't want you, they sell you. They sell you because they need money. It happens to me in Laval, which is nothing to compare with Barcelona. But you know that you can be the best 1 year and be treated like garbage, the year after, and you're going to be sold, and they're not going to treat you well. But it's part of our job. We have to be ready to be treated that way, and I think De Jong is ready. He's a big competitor, and he knows, and it's why if he has the chance to go somewhere better, he's going to go, and he's not going to look back.
Final question, and it's for Steve. It's a bit negative, Stevie. What do you think Trent Alexander-Arnold struggles with more? One-on-one defending or a total lack of defensive awareness? Wow. It's a bit harsh.
Wow.
Dear me.
Oh, get the mallet out and bash him.
Crikey.
I suppose I've got to answer the question, haven't I? I mean, you could argue that the goal at the weekend wasn't a complete lack of defensive awareness because he was in a position to affect it.
Right.
So you have to have some awareness to be in the right position. It just so happened that you couldn't do anything else to affect it. But the one-on-one stuff, every time I see somebody going one-on-one, and I don't care who it is, I'm not talking about one-on-one with
Haaland.
Haaland or Dembele or something like that. Just one-on-one.
With Arnautovic?
I'm like, I don't fancy him.
Could you help him, Frank?
I don't.
I think it's difficult because the thing is, I think it's a mentality issue that he has. I think he's been taught to go forward and never been taught how to defend well. So it's not part of his football genes. He hasn't got the reflex of doing what he has to do when we need him to do the things. And you see with other defenders, very good defenders, they have that immediate reaction when they have to do something defensively. They feel it. Thiago Silva, remember when he stopped the action on the pass against Everton? He knows exactly what to do. He plays with the striker and suddenly change his position to get the ball back. Alexander-Arnold, yes, he goes back to defend because he knows that's his job, but he doesn't want to. He's ready to be defeated. That's what you have to learn. You have to feel inside your bones that it's going to be a big shame if the striker gets the ball, and it's how you're going to be a survivor. But I don't know if you can change that at his age. It's maybe already too late.
You know when you sit at the computer and show me how to do stuff?
Yes, it's a favourite part of my day.
It's the same thing. Because there's no way he's not been put on a training field in a position and being coached and the things he should be thinking.
Right.
But some people just don't get it. No matter how many times you tell them, no matter how many times you show them, they don't get it.
Right.
And you should know. The amount of times that you show me stuff on the computer.
Yes.
And then 5 minutes, 10 minutes later, I'm going, Dan.
Yes.
Some people just don't get it.
That's 100% true, by the way. That is it. We are done. Thank you very much.
I need my password.
Yeah, I know. We'll do that now. We'll go and sort your password out. Well, thank you very much for watching ESPN on YouTube. For more sports highlights and analysis, be sure to download the ESPN app. And for live streaming, premium content, and let's not forget as well, ESPN FC 7 days a week. Subscribe to ESPN Plus.